Um, I'm here on my own once again. Matt is swamped with calculus homework. See what not to do in college for more information. So tonight I am giving you one of my filmmakers rants, which I hope you enjoy. So for anyone who is familiar with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the movie that is, not the book, I do not like that movie because, well, it's part of it is my Harry Potter geek fanness and saying it's not true to the book, it's not true to the book. But part of it is the way that Alfonso Cuarón, the director, portrayed the Dementors, and the fact that he used CGI, computer-generated imagery, and the fact that he basically portrayed them as skeletons with black tattered sheets draped over their heads. Now, not to get too into the whole book is better than the movie thing, but in the book, you're not supposed to see a Dementor's face, a Dementor's mouth, until it lowers its hood. So there's a little bit of Potter mythology that they're kind of messing up right there. But what I really don't like is that, of course, when I was 12 years old and seeing this in theaters for the first time, they were terrifying. But now, to me, they are not that scary because, in addition to messing with the whole Harry Potter book dynamic, the fact that you see the Dementors' faces and gaping open mouths right away, and you see them like physically sucking stuff out of the air, that kind of takes away the mystique of the Dementors a little bit, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, people say, oh, well, he couldn't portray Dementors any way other than CGI, but I don't think that's true, because in The Lord of the Rings, sorry guys, I'm probably breaking all kinds of fandom crossover rules right now, in the Lord of the Rings films, they did the ring raids with live actors. Now, this probably wasn't very pleasant for the actors, being under yards and yards and yards of black fabric. However, the ring raids in the Lord of the Rings are freaking terrifying. And I mean, I'm just saying that as, little scared teenage girl cowering under the covers watching Lord of the Rings. I'm saying that as a legitimate filmmaker. Those things are freaking terrifying. I would not want to run into a ring raid in a dark alley. I wouldn't want to run into a Dementor in a dark alley. But as far as physical incarnations in the films go, ring raids are scarier than Dementors. Now, initially they were trying puppets for the Dementors, and I think that would have worked out really, really well. But I still say that the best way they could have done that was to take live actors, put them in Dementor costumes. They even sell Dementor costumes at Target. It's not that hard to make a Dementor costume. Well, if you're me and trying to make one out of a flowered bedspread, it's a little bit difficult, but they wouldn't have used flowered bedspreads. I'll explain that at a later date. But, like if they had taken people and put them in Dementor costumes, and then later, like, used CGI to enhance that, that would have been absolutely terrifying, and I think that would have been a lot more effective than using CGI Dementors that look like, basically their heads look like crystal balls with black sheets draped over them, because that's just not very scary. Basically I think this all comes from the idea of filmmakers these days using way too much CGI. I feel like a lot of people are probably rolling their eyes at me right now, but it's true. And I'm not talking about movies like Avatar, like where it's a big CGI fest, because those films are intended to be big CGI fests. And I can appreciate that and I can understand that, but when you're doing a movie like, say, the new Star Wars trilogy with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, when you're literally putting your actors in front of a blue screen to film the entire time, that's just not very, it doesn't give your actors a lot to work with, and it doesn't add a whole lot of realism, because they'll say stuff like, well, it was easier to, it was more real to do that than to try and build a set, but no, it's not really more real. It's easier, but it's not more real. And when you're making a movie that's plunging your audience into another world, you need to have something real there for them to react to. You need to have something real there for your actors to react to. So to just plop your actors in front of a blue screen and just CGI everything is just not quite as effective. Now, I'm not saying right now that I like or dislike films like Avatar or the new Star Wars trilogy. I love the old Star Wars trilogy, by the way, because that's just amazing. But now with the added Blu-ray effects and whatnot, I'm still a little bit peeved about that. Just a little bit. But what I am saying is that I think they would be more effective, the Star Wars type films, especially if there's just a little bit less CGI and more live action, like real sets, like actually build sets and build props and make puppets and use animatronics. Like, you don't, people feel like they have to use CGI all the time now, and you don't have to. You really don't have to. And there are filmmakers out there who don't use it, and I mean, like Tim Burton, sorry guys, up until the Alice in Wonderland years, which I'm still a little bit peeved about, he did not use a lot of CGI. Like, if you watch Big Fish, that movie, what you see is actually there. Like, they hung a real car in a tree, and like they planted a field full of flowers and had Hugh McGregor standing in the middle of flowers, not just in the middle of a blue screen with flower CGI implanted around him. Like, it's all real, and I think that film is just incredibly beautiful. And it wouldn't be that beautiful if it was all CGI flowers and CGI cars hitting trees, and just... So the point of this rant is, filmmakers of the world, if you see this, please do not get CGI lazy, because your movies are so much more incredible if there's something real there and honest there to react to. That's all I'm saying. And sorry, Dementors, you used to be the scariest to me, but now the ring raids have kind of knocked you out of first place. Awkward rant ends.